Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, William.
What did we see today?
We saw a very good Marvel movie that was a little weird,
Kind of aloof,
a little peculiar,
vexing.
rather odd.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Popcorn for breakfast.
So we saw Doctor Strange, which is Chapter 2 of the Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe concerning the Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Got that?
What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to.
Good.
It's important. There's stones or something
Yeah.
involved.
This is the 14th goddamn Marvel movie, so I hope you're all paying attention. But it was a really good movie, and if it wasn't for the 13 that came before it, we wouldn't have gotten to see this movie. So,
Yeah, serendipitous.
yes, I think it was worth it.
Yeah, no, we'll obviously at the end give our actual review of it, or saying is whether or not we love it. But no, I didn't mind going to the theater for it. Basic plot. Summarize that for us.
Dr. Stephen Strange is a hotshot surgeon. He takes the most difficult cases because those give him the most notoriety and the most bank. Because he has a very posh lifestyle to keep up. Drives a Lamborghini, has the dozen $20,000 watches. You know, he's basically Dr. Tony Stark. you know, and we'll get into his character. He's a little quippy, but we'll get into that. But he's the man, and he even goes so far as to, while he's in the middle of one surgery, he jumps out and jumps into this other surgery and completely embarrasses the other doctor, and then it's just more. It's really good on-screen character development, I think.
Yeah.
And, but while planning his next hotshot surgery, he's driving his Lamborghini a little too fast, and he gets into a big car accident and messes up his hands.
Which was actually kind of cool. He crashes his Lamborghini because he's on the phone checking images of a guy sending him a possible surgery case because he's talking to a guy looking for the most difficult surgery to do.
Yeah.
And
he's surgery shopping.
Yes.
And a little universe thing is that one of the surgeries he has mentioned he could do is a Air Force colonel testing out a suit of armor who gets a spinal fracture. Guess who? So that means this story takes place a little bit after Civil War, right after.
Just after, because he would be in the hospital.
Yeah. And so that sets the time frame. So he's goes nuts just because his whole identity is based on the fact that he is a hotshot surgeon who daringly saves lives doing experimental procedures that no doctor would ever try.
And now his hands
are so nerve damaged that he's spent all his money trying to fix his hands just so he can be a surgeon again. And he's at his lowest point, and so he's going to get spiritually healed.
Yes.
He meets a guy
who says that he was healed because he was paralyzed from the waist down, or chest down. And yeah, that guy was playing basketball and he sees him. The guy's like, go to Kamesh?
Oh, I forgot.
Anyway, it's some sort of Kamesh.
How do I get from here to there?
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice, years of it.
Yeah, so he does that, the spirit, I gotta find a guru in India type thing, and
Kathmandu.
instead finds Tilda Swinton.
Who punches his fucking soul out.
Yeah, punches his face off of his face, literally. Because he's all like, oh, you're talking to me about stuff that's like acupuncture.
Dime store healer tricks.
Yeah, late night infomercial crap, and there's nothing beyond this physical world, and you're full of it, and I want my money back, or whatever. And she punches his spirit out of his body, brings him back in, and then, as if that didn't convince him enough, sends him on this magical Jodie Foster in Contact trip through space and time, the multiverse. He sees the bad guy he's gonna fight pretty soon, and just every possible corner of the universe. And then because he's an arrogant dick, she kicks him out and makes him
on the street.
Yeah, just kicks him. Like, no, we're done here.
And then they let him back in, and then plot ensues with main bad guy. Like you were saying, standard Marvel villain. He's pissed about something.
Yeah.
He wants revenge, or not revenge, but he wants what he wants, and he's gonna do it the dark way.
Bad guy's name is Kalicious?
Kylus, I think.
Kalicious?
Kalis? I think it's Kalis.
Kalishimir. He's a former student.
Yes.
Thinks he knows better than the Ancient One. Wants to prove it. Ends up almost causing the destruction of this universe, of Earth. Of
Yeah.
Midgard, you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, because he wasn't just gonna take Earth. He probably would have taken everything after
Probably, yeah.
that. Go see the movie for the rest of that. Little
But yeah, standard Marvel villain wants a power that he has no concept of what it really means, and wants to use it to either destroy, conquer, save the world, or gain personally. Just like Red Skull, just like Ronan, just like Malekith, just like even Stain falls into that, where he just wants the chest thing.
Yeah, he just wants money.
Yeah, it's just the same Marvel villain, and didn't have to be Mads Mikkelsen. Could have been a random guy in makeup, and it would have been fine.
So to talk about the movie, retarded amount of special effects. Like probably the most special effects I've ever seen in one scene, I would say, and this is including like Avatar, that was all CG'd. It had some of the busiest shit we've ever seen, but yet it didn't hurt your face. You could follow it.
Very busy, like Inception. Like what they do is they call it the mirror realm, where they pull you in. It's like on top of the real world, so you can fight with magic and not kill the muggles of the real world. And in that, it's like Inception on steroids, where it's just the city, London, New York, Hong Kong, just folds over each other and folds and just keeps multiplying. And I'm sure for those of you who love the three-dimensional presentations, will just love it. Awesome. But even in 2D, in normal movie theaters, it's great. And not, like you said, it's not vomit-inducing random special effects like Transformers movies are.
Or it's just
or
noise,
Ninja Turtles or whatever. It's just crowded room, and it was easy to follow. It's like, okay, the Ancient One is she's got her fans and she's doing her kung fu and everything's slipping away, and they're climbing on a building, and that building gets modified so that you fall off of it. And
well, the tunnel
really
that Strange falls through.
Yeah,
when the guy's just trying to make him fall into nothing, but he can't because he has the cloak, which makes him fly, by the way. But it's really cool. Yeah, that tunnel was super busy, but we were able, like, Strange was right there, and you could follow him. You didn't get dizzy. Yeah. 3 specific points of bad CG, I have to say, but they were all of CG'd flywire of a robed person, which, as we know from the first Harry Potter movies, is not the easiest thing to do. That is very common in movies. Something like cloth doesn't transition right between real and fake. But it was really minor. It didn't pull me out of the movie, but I noticed it. Yeah, it wasn't like Jean Grey's fucking feet in Apocalypse.
I didn't feel taken out. I thought certain parts of the CG reminded me like was imagery taken from other movies, like when he goes to face the super evil dimensional villain, Jumanji.
I think it was Jumandu or something like that.
When he goes to
we will have proper pronunciations at the bottom of the screen.
Stronger men than you have lost their way. I am death. And pain. You'll die protecting this world.
But when he goes to face the evil dimensional dark person, it's just this giant wavy face with waves emanating from the center of the face every time he speaks, and it really, image-wise, like set-piece-wise, it reminded me of when Neo goes to the machines at the end of Matrix 3.
Yeah, that kind of
like giant baby face talking,
pulsating kind of thing.
And then the color scheme was just like a Lovecraftian nightmare, like an interdimensional, like that drug movie Enter the Void, where it's all purple and green and orange and all neon and black lighty and.
That's
like,
a good point.
This is really cool to look at, and they're really neat. I'm glad it's not the whole movie, though.
Yeah.
It's just 10 minutes of the movie, but it was really well done.
Yeah. Stephen makes a good point. If you're a Lovecraft fan, you'll probably like the visualizations in this movie. They were very Lovecraftian. That's a good thing. Like the odd geometric worlds. Yeah. But yeah, so the CG was good. We love Cumberbatch.
Yep. Good actor.
Great actor.
He's never turned into bad. He's been in bad things, Star Trek, but he's never turned in a bad performance.
Let's just say Star Trek 2. I like 1 and 3.
No, Star Trek 2 is The Wrath of Khan. Let's just call it The Darkness. Star Trek The Darkness.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean. The second in the reboot trilogy.
Yeah, the reboot, yeah. The crap one.
But yeah, he's one of those actors. You're like, okay, Cumberbatch, you are Doctor Strange's tall, lanky asshole doctor, and you end up getting superpowers. Okay, and he does it.
First and foremost, he's a British actor who pulls off an American accent without sounding too nasally. Because sometimes as British people, they kind of poke fun at our accents as nasal.
Like that bearded Aussie who keeps playing Wolverine.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
Doctor Strange, the character was a little quippy. Like
More
he's
than
a little
he needed
too,
to be. Too
he
starchy.
injected, he's very Tony Stark. Like Tony Stark is a brain surgeon because he's egotistical. I'm hot shit. I'm the best. And even when he's at his lowest low, he's still a dick. And it's like, hey, just snap out of it for once, man. Even Bruce Wayne on his spirit quest realized humility a little. At some point.
Well, yeah.
And I these Marvel movies are basically, for me, like the last thread of what I like about Hollywood. I'm done with a lot of Hollywood blockbusters. I don't get excited for Transformers, and even Star Trek is falling into that category now, where it's just big, loud, dumb movie. And I think the Marvel movies, for me, they have that little kernel, a little bit of heart of the original comic books that I read as a kid. That's why it appeals to me. And I would still go to the theater and deal with the people at the theater in order to see a movie.
Today was specific.
Yeah, we could make a separate video about that.
I think we should one of these days. We should just talk about our public experiences. But
and one of the cool things about these Marvel movies, doesn't matter what franchise it is, Stan Lee makes a cameo. And it's usually, lately it's been very specific to the tone of the movie.
Yes.
Like in Deadpool, he's a strip club DJ. Perfect.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's on a city bus reading The Doors of Perception. And it's like, yes!
Laughing at it.
Yes.
He's like, oh, that's hilarious.
Awesome. And it's like, oh, thank you for this is a movie about a little bit more intelligent stuff than just Captain America punches the bad guy.
Yeah.
And
There's
so,
actually a very small amount of punching in this. It's
Not much,
a lot of
he's got his
interdimensional weapon base.
He's got his little whip, and they've got their weapons they imbue with magic. And there's a little bit of punching, but there's a lot more magic fighting and mind stuff. And
before it was a whip, did you see the thing where like his physical therapist had him with the rubber bands on the fingers, and he's pulling them out like this, and there's rubber bands going to each finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy says, use this to find your strength, and he's pulling on it. The first thing Doctor Strange does, he goes like this, and he pulls tendrils between his fingers.
I thought it looked like a cat's cradle, like that old
I think that was
game,
supposed to be the idea, though. Like his strength,
of it.
his strength was between his fingers.
Yeah.
So that's where he can visualize himself drawing it from.
Yeah.
But
very well done. I love the Michael Giacchino, one of my favorite composers, did the music. It was very
great music.
Tonally, creepy and weird, and mystical, just like the subject matter. It was really good.
The plot was straightforward but nice.
Yeah, kill the bad guy, save the world.
Kind of like the idea of what we talked about in Magnificent Seven is not a lot of hard plot to understand.
No.
Good guy goes against his nature to become a better guy, while evil guy goes and pulls a power he can't control because he thinks he can't control it.
Yeah.
Straightforward. We've seen that plot before. Star Trek's done it. Superman's done it. Like everyone's done it. It's nice.
And it's that he's a Marvel superhero, so he has to make a choice, because he's told you can use your power to heal your hands and go back to being a neurosurgeon.
Yeah,
we'll take care of the interdimensional being, or maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows?
The ancient one is like, you can leave right now.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, you know what? I have this power. With great power comes
great resonation.
It's close enough. And so, he's Doctor Strange, and obviously. But there's also stuff like the Ancient One. There's something about no spoilers in this episode. We want you to go see this movie.
Yeah.
something about the ancient one that's not quite right, and that sets off consequences that could be picked up later in the series.
It had a very Batman-y thing, which if you stay for after the credits, I suggest you do. It had a very Batman thing with, we create our own worst villains.
Yeah.
Which Batman has done time and time again. Two-Face, Joker, if you like Batman.
And it's the same theme from Civil War, where it's like, hey, the number of supervillains has skyrocketed since the Avengers came on the scene.
Yeah, because
And-
the more you put out saying that
Yeah.
you're good, the more there's going to be evil people
Yeah.
trying to be evil. Yeah.
Because, without giving away the end, they set up a, Doctor Strange, first of all, he's a very fast learner, and that's just for movie time. He reads books as fast as Johnny Five in Short
Yes.
Circuit. He just flips through books.
Which works to his
And-
dickheaded kind of thing. They use
Yeah.
that in the beginning.
And
that
he's got a
he-
photographic memory and all that. And so he learns he's doing his first training, he learns a spell, which is a glowing thing. He wears a thing, puts a thing on a thing, and learns a spell where it's like, hey, you don't cross the streams.
Yeah.
You don't break the space-time continuum. But in order to save the world later in the movie, we have to cross the streams.
Yes.
And it's, it does
Very
come,
Ghostbuster.
kind of fun, comes circle, and it's like, okay, I get it. But,
When,
and that's, again, consequences arise from that, from crossing the streams that we'll pick up on later,
Yeah.
hopefully.
All in all, I thought it was really well put together. I can't say there's a point in the movie that I thought was unneeded. It was very Joss Whedon-y in the fact that when there was humor, very well placed. It broke up when the tension. Joss Whedon is great at that. Love you, Joss, if you see this. But I know he didn't direct this one. He hasn't directed the last few. But
No, but he's the showrunner.
he is the showrunner, and he
still
was really
in control
good.
of the whole thing.
And he knew that bell curve. He goes, okay, the tension's here.
Yeah.
Split it with some humor.
Well, that's the formula ever since Iron Man.
Yeah,
You have a
and it
superhero,
works.
it's, hey, how you doing? Because Marvel, they're comic books. It's not drama books.
Yeah.
You have to have a little bit of, yes, the world is about to end, but there is still a bit of lightheartedness, and people are still themselves.
Yes.
I'm still Tony Stark. I have to make a joke. I have to not be handed something. It's still, the character is
Yeah.
solid.
And Doctor Strange in this movie actually was really cool because he used that to break up his inability to really ever fully understand what's happening. Like the librarian Wong, which he kept making jokes to the Wong man.
Wong doesn't laugh.
Wong doesn't laugh until the end. Oops,
Spoilers.
spoilers.
Well, I like how it's going to tie into the Marvel Universe. There is an Infinity Stone in this movie, but it's not the point of the movie. It's not what they call the MacGuffin, where it's like we have to get the Green Stone, otherwise the bad guy will kill the Earth. It's
a
we have to. It is a Deus Ex Machina, where it's like we have to use the Green Stone to kill the bad guy before he kills the Earth.
Yeah,
But
which you don't even know it's
No.
an Infinity Stone the whole movie.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but you don't
it's
know.
like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, you don't know until the end, and it's an offhanded comment. It's
Yeah.
not even
And it's not
pointed on.
It's not obviously it's not dangerous like the purple one is in Guardians or the red one is. It doesn't infect you like the red one does.
Yeah.
It doesn't melt you like the purple one does.
This one specifically controls time.
It's the time stone.
It's
Yeah.
the time stone,
Yeah.
which they set up in the movie. That also gets used.
And while we're on it does fold into the universe well. You see the Stark Avengers Tower in the city skyline of New York City. They mention the Avengers as hey, the Avengers are the guys.
Do the physical
They
realm.
save us from the blue lasers that shoot into the sky. They're cool with that. We do the spiritual stuff. We're the magic people. We keep an eye on. In fact, there's Doctor Strange himself says, I'm going to keep an eye on any magical thing."
Interdimensional
Yeah.
entities. Steven, what did you think of Doctor Strange?
This movie buttered. This is buttered popcorn. But what's the scale again?
But didn't
No,
pop
didn't pop
butter.
Okay, this movie is buttered popcorn. See it. I'd see it again. I'd get it in the red box. I'd look at some special features for it. It is a movie worth your time. Go see it.
Yeah. I completely agree. This movie is well buttered, immensely buttered. This thing is like more butter than popcorn. In my opinion, I was always a fan of Doctor Strange, but I'm way behind on the comics for like almost 20 plus years now. But it was great. The movie kept you in. It was entertaining. It never went over the top. I don't feel like it ever tried to go over the top. I loved it. Yeah, it was
good. Yeah, really.
Strangely entertaining.